Perhaps the best way each of us can actually thank them for what they've given us is to make a personal commitment tonight to not only continue, but increase our own personal and individual support for arts and cultures in our state and our communities. Continue to buy tickets and subscriptions. Attend artistic and cultural events and performances. Invite your friends to join you. Volunteer at a local art or cultural organization. And give as much money as you can. Be an advocate for the arts. Walter P. Chrysler Jr. was fond of recalling a remark his father once made to him concerning the art objects his parents had acquired over time. He said, "Son, they are yours to enjoy for a brief period of time, but remember that fundamentally they and all things like them must belong to everyone." Creativity in the arts have thrived in our state for decades, due in part to the support of the 3 2009 Arts Legacy Award recipients tonight. Let's each of us make a commitment tonight to do our part to preserve that legacy. And now, to present the first 2009 Arts Legacy Award to the Chrysler Corporation and the Chrysler Foundation is Anne Marie Erickson, Executive Vice President of Administration and Planning for the Detroit Institute of Arts.
Good evening. Well, heaven knows it's been hard, but let's take a moment and celebrate a little, okay? From the pyramids of Egypt to the separate cities of Italy, from Vincent van Gogh to Andy Warhol, from delicate ballerinas to monumental sculpture, Chrysler, the Chrysler Foundation, and the Detroit Institute of Arts have been partners in some absolutely amazing art. And thousands of us have benefited from the extraordinary generosity of the Chrysler Corporation and its foundation. I know that dozens of us here tonight can cite examples of Chrysler stepping forward to fund a dance series, a concert series, a performance, a publication. That generosity has been the hallmark of our hometown industry for decades: Chrysler, Ford, and General Motors. And on behalf of everyone at the DIA, including our director, Graham Beal, who is returning home tonight from his daughter's wedding, and the chairman of our board of directors, Gene Gargaro, our most sincere thanks to each of the Detroit automakers for all they have meant to our cultural community over the years. And you can clap now. This is a legacy award, and by definition, a legacy is something that extends over time. Chrysler's involvement with the DIA absolutely fits that definition, extending well back into the last century. K.T. Keller, Chrysler's president from 1935 to 1960, and its chairman from 1950 to 1956, served on the DIA's board of directors from 1942 until 1966. During Mr. Keller's tenure, Chrysler put the DIA on wheels with the Artmobile, a mobile art education unit that helped bring DIA programs and activities to the farthest reaches of our community. This Saturday, the museum will be hosting its annual gala, and it is a testimony to our entire community that the event is sold out. We have a few late-night party tickets available for those of you who left it till last minute. But this year's success is built on a foundation of support that began with Chrysler's early corporate support sponsorship of what was then called Under the Stars. In addition to Under the Stars, Chrysler stepped up and out for Bal African, Fash Bash, the Wassail Feast, and the Joe Louis Awards dinner. If there was a need, Chrysler helped to fill it. If it wasn't an event, it was Chrysler supporting educational programs. For many years, Chrysler sponsored the Detroit Public Schools Student Exhibition, a rare chance for very talented youngsters to actually see their work on display in the DIA. Chrysler also helped publish a book of student writings about their works of art in the museum, and there was also support for Art to the Schools, which brings DIA volunteers into local classrooms, and the Family Art Game, which brought families into the museum. Chrysler also numbers among the most generous donors to the DIA's fundraising campaigns, and we all know how important that is. Chrysler made major gifts supporting the Partnership for Renewal and the New Day at Your DIA campaign. And when it was truly a new day at your DIA, the grand opening of the new DIA, and the gala was exactly 2 years ago tonight, Chrysler again donated generously as a corporate sponsor. Those of us in the nonprofit world know that dollars are essential, but there is more to supporting us than just writing checks. Many, many Chrysler executives served as DIA volunteers in a variety of capacities over the years. And in the late 1990s, right around the time I joined the DIA, Chrysler gave several of us in the cultural community access to more of their brain power by conducting both qualitative and quantitative research for us. The qualitative research was called archetyping, and it was designed to help identify people's deepest feelings about arts and cultural institutions to help us better understand their motivations for attending or not. We learned that people in the study viewed the DIA as the repository of our cultural DNA, a place where they could connect with different cultures at different times and that always reinforced our shared humanity. It was pretty powerful stuff, and it helped us identify critical visitor outcomes when we reinstalled our entire collection moving on to our grand opening. But face it, what we all remember most are the exhibitions. Chrysler jumped in with a bang, sponsoring 6 months of the splendors of ancient Egypt at the DIA. From there, Chrysler took us to Rome for The Invisible Made Visible, Angels from the Vatican. My first exhibition at the DIA recorded the highest attendance of any exhibition to date. That was Van Gogh, Face to Face, another extraordinary collaboration with Chrysler. From there, we went on to Degas and the Dance, On the Edge, contemporary art from the Daimler Chrysler collection, and with the museum well under construction, Camille Claudel and Rodin, Fateful Encounter. It is not an exaggeration to say that it would have been impossible to mount these exhibitions without the support of Chrysler. And with each exhibition, we were transported to a different country or culture. We met salt-of-the-earth people, like the postman Roulan and his family. We experienced the exalted, from pharaohs to angels. And we saw the tortured genius of a female artist far ahead of her society and her time. It has indeed been a tremendous partnership with many, many wonderful memories. So thank you, Chrysler and the Chrysler Foundation. Thank you 1,138,398 times, once for every visitor to each of those exhibitions that you supported, and thank you many millions more from your entire cultural community. Congratulations on the Legacy Award.
Accepting the award for Chrysler Corporation and the Chrysler Foundation is Brian Glowiak, Head of State Government Affairs and the Chrysler Foundation. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of Chrysler and the Chrysler Foundation, I'm very honored to accept this award. As Anne-Marie articulated, we have shared a very treasured partnership with the DIA. And over the past 10 years, we not only made grants to the institution, we made investments. Investments to sponsor those blockbuster exhibitions, which were successful by all measurements. Successful by the million-plus visitors that came to the DIA, not only from the surrounding regions, but from surrounding states. And we also measured the success by the ability or the way these exhibitions served as vehicles to bridge cultural, ethnic, racial divides through art appreciation. Are we proud of those returns on those investments? Absolutely. We're also proud that we've helped play a role in promoting the vitality of this community. Thank you.
To present the second 2009 Arts Legacy Award to General Motors Corporation and the General Motors Foundation is Ann Parsons, Executive Director of the Detroit Symphony Orchestra.
First of all, let me welcome you to the Maxim Fisher Music Center, the home of the Detroit Symphony Orchestra. We are terribly pleased to have all of you here tonight in our wonderful building. Of course, Orchestra Hall is right next door, and we invite you all to come back and participate in the arts firsthand. go to a concert, go to a museum, go to MOT this weekend. It's fantastic what this city has and what this state has to offer in the arts. And it's true that the entire country is watching us.